Okay, I know I've said this before, but I actually have to stick to it this time. This is going to be a short video. Like, no joke, no joke. It's going to be a short video. It's going to be less than 20. Actually, let's make it less than 15 minutes. Because I literally don't have that much time to work with right now. Wasn't even going to film something today, but then it was like, yeah, all right, I have some free time to work with. Maybe I could get a video out if it's a very short, direct topic that we can concisely stay on point with as few tangents as possible. By the way, quick tangent. Tomorrow, over on King Recon's channel, there's going to be the Reverie Edition 12, I think we're up to now. July 8th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon tomorrow. King Recon's channel. Leave the links down there below. Good luck to you, Recon. I know you'll do a fantastic job. It's going to be great. I'll be there for the first couple hours. Okay, so back on topic, though. We're good. We're not, hey, that's not even a minute yet, and we're already making good time for me. Okay, so you see the title of the video, right? Nami versus Eneru. You see the thumbnail, and you're probably like, yeah, okay, that probably would be a pretty short topic for a video. Eneru wins, right? So I don't even know where I saw this comment. It was somewhere out there in internet land. I don't even know if it was on my channel, but a couple days ago, I saw a comment somewhere out there in the Netscape that said, oh, Nami could beat Eneru now. You know, just some random comment. Don't even know if they were serious. But I kind of ruminated on that one for a few minutes. I was like, Nami versus Eneru right now. How would that go? Because she's got Zeus, right? And Zeus is literally the lightning devouring factory, okay? He just eats lightning and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm like, okay, I could kind of see that would be an interesting interaction. If nothing else, if Eneru descended from the sky and sees Nami, and that's like Nami's by herself, I guess not by herself because she has Zeus, but none of the other Straw Hats are around, and for whatever reason, Eneru decides like, I remember you, Blue Sea Girl. You will be the first one to showcase my new wrath, and he like summons a bunch of lightning bolts that go down, and then Zeus just comes out of the climb attack and like, don't worry, I'll protect you, Nami, and he just eats a bunch of the lightning and grows really big and strong, and Zeus is like, oh my god, this is like, Nami, I know you don't understand, but this is like the filet mignon of lightning right now. This is incredible. So that interaction would be funny, all right? Like, before the fight even resumed, like the initial attack, it'd be funny. Eneru would be sitting there observing this weird cloud being that has a face and eyes and a mouth, but is still made out of water vapor somehow, that's devouring his attacks and just getting bigger and stronger. Eneru would be like, what the hell is that thing? This is weird. You disgust me, strange cloud abomination. And he summons more lightning, and Zeus eats more lightning. It gets even bigger and bigger. Now, here's the thing, though. Eneru has a lot more in his toolbox than just mindlessly throwing lightning bolts at people, right? That's his go-to, because let's be honest here, when you can just summon lightning whenever you want, not a lot of problems are going to really come your way. An army's coming to your doorstep, lightning bolt. A tank is coming to your doorstep, lightning bolt. Riding cavalry is coming. Cavalry? No, Calvary was the hill where they crucified Jesus. Calvary, I think is the word I'm thinking of. Whatever, lightning bolt either way. Okay, so it's going to solve most of your issues, right? So he's got other stuff in his toolbox, though. For one thing, he's got really good observation hockey. He's also a Logia, and he can move really fast. So, I mean, if he just wanted to just cut the pretenses, he could just turn into lightning, zip around Nami really quick. Maybe he can throw a couple lightning bolts to distract Zeus to eat the lightning, and then he could just zip around Nami at the speed of lightning, take out his golden staff, and just BAM! And just smack really hard. He could also superheat the staff, or he could turn it into a pitchfork and just impale her. I know we're talking about Nami dying a lot, because we just made this video last week, but no, seriously though, I mean, that is how Eneru could win this fight, like, lickety-split. Like, not very long fight here, okay, at the end of the day. But it does kind of create a little bit of, like, an infinity cycle problem. Like, okay, Eneru summons lightning, Zeus eats it, he gets bigger. Zeus could then fire off lightning at Eneru, but he's made of lightning, so he's going to be immune to it. If anything, he'll just absorb it back into himself. So then you have this interesting back and forth, kind of just like lightning exchange. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it's going to really result in, like, okay, in terms of that and that alone, Nami would probably be safe, especially if, like, Zeus took up, like, a defensive partition, like, around Nami. Like, Zeus Zeus is a cloud. He can literally reshape his form and everything like that. So maybe Zeus could like come out of the Climatact. Like the Climatact is sort of like a center post for like a tent, and then Zeus just kind of forms like a shape around Nami, like the Zeus tent, like the lightning rod tent or something like that. And then literally it doesn't matter what Enel does. He summons down as many lightning bolts as he can, and all of them are just absorbed into Zeus, and he's getting bigger and stronger. But even despite that, like, any attack that Zeus is going to fire at Enel, he can just absorb back into himself. Now, on the other hand, though, Enel is capable of some really powerful high-octane attacks. Like, we saw Raiga, we saw Death Pia, we saw the giant lightning god form he can go into. Could he get strong enough to the point where he could essentially force Zeus to, like, overeat? Because that's basically the way Zeus absorbs lightning. He likens it to consuming food. Makes sense because, you know, he comes from Big Mom's soul and everything like that. So the implication is, yeah, up until now, Nami makes the little weather balls, and they're like little snacks that Zeus likes to consume and everything like that. But this is like a lot of food. Like a lot of food, all right? And so it might get to the point where Zeus might expand so much that he might be like, no more, I can't eat. And then, you know, Enel just fires like a little zip, and just zip, and then Zeus just, boosh! He just like explodes in just a massive electrical explosion because he just can't contain it anymore, as it were, right? So there might be an upper limit to that. Now, also, maybe if Zeus was being commanded by Big Mom, like if you know, it was with Big Mom, maybe the situation might be different, because Zeus literally comes from Big Mom's soul, and so he decided to split off and work with Nami now. So, yeah, he's loyal to Nami, but I'm just saying that if maybe Big Mom was the one controlling him, maybe things would be a little bit different, just because that's where his power literally comes from, all right? Also, another question regarding this is, would Zeus change sides over to Enel, right? Because Enel is, like, firing a lot of really powerful lightning attacks, okay? And, I don't know, I feel like in a situation like this, it might be like, as we're comparing lightning to food for Zeus, maybe it's like flavor kind of situation, right? I said it earlier, it was like the filet mignon of lightning, but maybe Enel's lightning doesn't taste very good, okay? Maybe it's just a lot of quantity, but at the end of the day, it's like Enel's lightning is like a shitty fast food burger. Not even that. It's like a hot dog you get at like a gas station. They're very plentiful. They're everywhere, but they're not that great. And then you get to Nami, who is like a gourmet chef. You know, her weather balls and her lightning spheres and everything like that, they're like, those are like Michelin star kind of quality, okay? And so maybe Zeus is just like, oh, okay, I mean, that's a lot of food, I appreciate it, but Nami makes the best burgers around. I'm gonna stick with her, right? Also, after the whole events of Wano, I mean, Zeus would be really stupid to, like, betray Nami again. So I don't think there's gonna be a situation where Zeus would betray Nami and go over to Enel, but it would be amusing to see the situation, like how different lightning tastes or whatever. Like, he could say that, right? But at the end of the day, like I said, Enel has a lot of other abilities that he could utilize, okay? Mantra alone, having the access to observation hockey alone is going to be, like, kind of the downfall of Nami here and why she could not beat him. Now, his mantra, his observation is not as good as, like, Katakuri's. He can't see the future or anything like that. Although, maybe he's trained. Honestly, though, I would like to think that Enel might not have trained. But he might have. It's in the same category as, like, okay, you know, like Frieza in Dragon Ball? So, you know, Frieza was kind of, like, always super powerful, just, like, naturally stronger than, like, everybody else. So there was no reason for him to train until he got his ass kicked by Goku. And then Trunks, and then he came back, and then he's like, all right, I should probably train, right? And then he trained for like a couple months, and then became Gold Frieza, and then later on, if you're reading the manga, he becomes Black Frieza, right? So that's Frieza's, like, level of training. Like, he's already really strong, and he's also very arrogant, so he doesn't see the need to train, but when he does put his mind to it, he can get really, really powerful. Maybe Enel's kind of the same way, where I think Enel was already really strong, and then he ate the Goro Goro no Mi, which made him onto a god. You know, he thought of himself himself as a god. And so just lightning bolting everybody. He's like, I don't need to train. I already have chiseled abs. I don't need to lift. I don't need to work on my ability. All I need to do is just summon down more lightning and I'm fine. So after getting, his shit stomped in by Luffy, though, maybe he might be like, maybe I should think of some other ways to fight on the moon for the last 2 years or something like that. So I can kind of see it either way. I could see him like being so arrogant, he's just focused on running his empire on the moon with all the automata running around, or he might be like, all right, Luffy really beat me up. I'm going to really dedicate myself to training, and then I'm going to gather my army, and then I'm going back down to the Blue Sea, and I'm going to find Luffy, and I'm just going to like nuke him from orbit, okay? With lightning so hot, so intense, I don't care what kind of rubber he's made out of. He's going down, right? Either or, I could see it. But even as Eneru was during Skypiea, with all of the abilities we know, and let's just say he hasn't gotten any stronger whatsoever, whereas Nami definitely has gotten stronger from Skypiea, she was still using, like, Usopp's gag climb attack back then. Like, literally, it saved her life. Like, when Eneru was just, like, done with everybody on the Maxim and just shot a lightning bolt at Nami, she used her climb attack to summon the little... It wasn't even a lightning bubble. It was like a static electricity bubble, if anything. And it was just enough to kind of, like, redirect the lightning bolt from Eneru. Like, it guided the lightning bolt away from her. But even Eneru kind of figured it out immediately, and he was like, oh, you have some strange Blue Sea device that allows you to make little bubbles of static electricity that redirected my lightning. I could just, increase the voltage and the amperage, and I'm just gonna borrow through that, and then just like, you're dead. There's nothing you can do about it. So that was several climb attacks ago. Granted, you had the perfect climb attack at Eni's lobby. That was able to make a pretty damn good lightning bolt to take down Khalifa, and then you had the sorcery climb attack at Weatheria, and then you have the current one right now. Well, I guess technically speaking, she has climb attack version 5 right now. It's the orange one that can extend, that kind of looks like a... Yeah, and then also Zeus got added to it, so Zeus is kind of like an animated climb attack right now, so this is like version 5, if you want to go with that, okay? Same design, just now sentient, okay? There you go. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of different ways with the observation and the fact he can move really fast, and he can mold his weapon in any shape he wants, and he can channel electrical heat into that. So yeah, I just don't think Nami has any real hope of defeating Eneru, although she would definitely be able to at least, she wouldn't get electrocuted, at least not immediately because of Zeus, but really that's the only thing she's got going for her there. We have some time left over. We're only at like 12 minutes, so as a caveat to that, let's just do a lightning round really quick. And go through some other One Piece villains through the story. Okay, Arlong, easily Nami could defeat Arlong. To be straight up, I think Nami could have probably beat Arlong with the perfect climb attack, the one she used to defeat Khalifa. With a massive lightning bolt, she just, like, stabbed Khalifa with lightning. Don't really know how you do that, but it's Nami, so she did it. She stabbed Khalifa right through the chest with lightning, and that defeated her. So I'm feeling like Arlong, especially if Arlong's all moist from, swimming and being a fishman and everything like that, I feel like the same attack that she used to defeat Khalifa would probably take down Arlong, so I think Arlong could be taken care of. Crocodile, no. That's like elemental weakness right there, you know what I mean? Like, Crocodile's literally a ground type, and Nami is an electric type. So, at the end of the day, I feel like Crocodile could just turn into sand, meld with the earth, and it's like... There's nothing Nami could really do there. I don't think she could beat Crocodile. Eneru, we already discussed. Bellamy, she could beat Bellamy. Those springs are basically like lightning rods right there, so she could take care of Bellamy, no problem. Could Nami beat Eni's lobby Rob Lucci? Once again, I feel like the idea that having Zeus there as a sentient being would take a lot of people off guard. Unless you're like Katakuri that has future sight and you can kind of see it coming, Zeus is going to throw a lot of people for a loop. Like Rob Lucci sees Nami and like, I will defeat her, and he like zips over using Soru and Shigon to just like stab Nami and end it, and then before he reaches Nami, Zeus pops out and just like, I won't let you hurt Nami, and then boom, and it's like Lucci just runs like square into a lightning cloud and just like a thunderhead and gets electrocuted. Would that be enough to take him out? I don't think so, but it would be... I think she would survive longer than you would think. I don't think we have enough time for another one, but let's try to. Okay, so Nami versus... who would be next? Moria, okay. Nami versus Moria, he's... You know what? Screw it. Yeah, Nami could beat Moria at Thriller Bark. I think she could. With Zeus's help, I think it would be a tough fight, but I think she could do it. I think she could beat Moria at Thriller Bark. Why not? Okay. Well, anyway, I think that's about where we're at. Less than 15 minutes. Thanks for watching, everybody. Reverie tomorrow, King Recon's channel. Check that out. Teching signing out. I have shelves now. Later, everybody.